Hello students, today's agenda is to check homework. We'll be constructing parabolas and you will be able to work on 10.2. Today students will be able to construct parabolas given a focus and a directrix. So these are going to be the steps and you don't have to write them, but it's just that some people are very like they need the directions step by step. So I'm going to have them here. Again, you don't have to write them. Sometimes if you're just visual, you can just follow through. Just follow the steps. Okay, so first of all, this is what they give you. They give you a focus point and you also get the directrix. So we're gonna label that. The actual, you can just put D, but this is directrix. And this is the focus. Sometimes they just put point F. I prefer to write the word. And so it says, draw the perpendicular line through point F. Okay, so I'm gonna draw the line that is perpendicular to the directrix through point F. And these are the steps that you need to follow. We already saw this in last year. If you want to see the video, just ask me which video it is. And you know what? I'm gonna put some papers underneath because that's gonna make it a lot easier for me to use the compass. So there you go. And so I'm gonna open my compass a little bit. I'm gonna put the point on the focus and I'm gonna open it a little bit more to create 2 marks on the directrix. Then you can close it or leave it if you have enough space. And you're gonna make, from these 2 marks on the directrix, I'm gonna make 2 markings, 2 little arcs. And where the 2 meet, you're gonna connect those 2 points and that's gonna be your perpendicular line. Now, where would you use, because we're going to be drawing as it says in the Subat, parabolas. Where would you use drawing or constructions like this? It's basically in engineering or design, interior design. That's where you would use the construction of many different shapes actually. Okay. So you already drew the perpendicular line. Now it says to draw the perpendicular bisectors of line segment between the point F or focus and the directrix. So we're gonna draw the perpendicular bisector, meaning a line that goes perpendicular here and is halfway of the focus. And that's gonna give us and we don't even need to do the whole line, it's just to find the point in the middle of these 2 points, okay? So how do you find the perpendicular bisector? All you have to do is use these 2 as your points of reference. And I'm going to open it a little bit more than half. So this is like halfway. I open it and I create 2 half moons or 2 arcs that look like half the moon. Sorry that I use a lot of pictures like that just to make it easier to remember. Okay, so these 2 are gonna be aligned with a ruler and I'm going to, you can draw the line or you can just actually put the point in there. And that's gonna be my vertex. And I'm gonna put the whole word vertex. Remember that the vertex is the lowest or highest point in the parabola. In this case, since this is the focus needs to be inside of the parabola, so that means that this is gonna be the lowest point, okay? Or global minima, if you remember from previous lessons. After you find that's gonna be your vertex, Okay, it doesn't say here to label the point as vertex, but do that. Then you're going to create many circles, and there are other videos that show a little bit different steps, but with the help of one of my students, actually, I noticed that this was possible. So you're just gonna open it to whatever, it doesn't really matter, and you're gonna create points with the center on the line that we created here, this line. So do as many circles as you can, and they can be the same size, they can be different size, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna create another one in here. Oops, make sure that you don't lift. Okay, and what I'm looking for by creating these circles is these two, my students call it, it looks like fishtails, teacher. Okay, I need to look for that. Those intersections is what I'm looking for. Okay, so just create as many as you can using this line as the center. Just many circles, many circles. Oh, I just opened it. That's not a good thing. So let me see. Yeah, I found it. So, and I just lifted. There you go. Okay. So just create as many circles as you can. And I think that's enough. How many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. But then I made sure that I would intersect them. Okay, and now I'm gonna use a different color because I want to leave the directrix and the focus as purple. That's very important to make it easier for me. So I'm gonna draw lines. Here I have an intersection, but it's in the vertex. I don't want to use that one. I want to use from the vertex and up if the focus here, or from the vertex below if the focus is on the other side. Okay, so I see this intersection. I'm gonna draw that. Let me see. So it says make many circles, then draw lines connecting the points where the circles intersect and label them A, B, C, D, and that's what we're doing right now. And I'm gonna do it from one side to the other side of the page. Okay, let me see. I think I'm gonna have to, I don't think I can zoom in a little bit more. No, that's it. So just look for those intersections. So maybe I'll move this and come back to it. And create your perpendicular lines or parallel lines to the directrix if we look at it that way as well. Okay, from side to side. From side to side. I see another one in here. Okay, you might want to do it on the other side to see where you're going. From side to side. And there's another one here. Okay, from side to side. And I don't think, I mean, there is one more here, one more here, but if you have 4 or 5, that should be enough. Notice how in here there is one that is very close to the other. It doesn't matter if they're close to each other, that's also okay. And, oh, that doesn't look parallel. Do your best. Okay, so now this is a tricky part, and this is what you need to follow. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna open my compass, and that's what it says here. Measure from directrix to point A. Use this measurement and place point on focus point and mark line A on both sides. So if we're measuring from directrix to point A, we're marking on line A. Then measure from directrice to point B. Use the measurement to place the point on focus point and mark line B. So B with B, okay? But the other important part is that we're replacing the point on the focus point. And then we do that with point C and D and etc. So in here, it sounds complicated, but it's not that complicated. Look at this. So you open your compass and open it to line A. You can call this line B, C, D, and E. And so I'm gonna measure it. It says to point A first. And we're gonna call that also line A, okay? So open it with that measurement from directrix, from purple, the line purple line, to point A. And that measurement, don't open it or close it, go to the focus. So from purple to purple and mark line A. Okay? So right there. So you're gonna put the points right here, and I'm gonna use a different color. So right there. The next one is, now from there, again from the directrix to point B, don't open it or close it, and go to the focus and mark line B with that same measurement. Again, the measurement is from directrix to point B, go to the focus and mark it on line B. So it says to repeat the same thing for point C. I measure from directrix to point C, go to the focus and mark it on line C. Okay? And you can see that it's taking shape. Now you can see that the parabola is forming. You do the same thing for point D. Go to the focus, and guess what? Since it's out of the page, that's it. Oh, but it goes in here. So I guess I made it a little to the left, and that's fine. Point E, and of course this is going to be out in here, but I might be able to mark it in here. Okay? So again, the reason is because I made this focus point a lot more to the left than to the right. I didn't center it. So now that I have these points, I'm going to open from the vertex, try to make a smooth curve. That was hard to say. And the same thing on the other side. And that's my parabola. Okay, I can't go in here because the points are outside. But that's how these will look. I think I want to try one more time. You can look at the video, but I did one where the focus point is a little farther than this one from the directrix. And so, but again, that's it. That's all you have to do. I'm gonna do it now without the instructions. So for those people who can do it without following directions, just by looking basically. The first thing is to do the perpendicular bisector. So do 2 markings in here. And from there, those 2 markings are gonna guide me to find 2 little marks on the other side of the line of the directrix. That's gonna give the intersection for my perpendicular line. So it goes through here. That's my perpendicular line. And now I'm going to find the vertex, which is halfway in here. So I'm going to use the perpendicular bisector, and all I have to do is open my compass to a little bit more than half, okay? Using the focus point, let me label those. The focus point, which is F, and my directrice, which you can just label D. And I'm finding my vertex. Half moon, and I align those intersections to find the vertex. The vertex is right there. Okay, I'm gonna label vertex, or just V, it's okay. From there, the next step is to do lots of circles. So you can open it or close it. And I think I want to zoom in a little bit. I just start doing lots of little circles to find intersections. And I'm trying to find lines that are perpendicular to the purple vertical line. Maybe right here. Did I just open it more? There it is. Okay, they can be different sizes also, or you can just keep it the same. Remember that in the previous one I kept it the same, so that's, oh! Try not to move your, that just messed it up. Try not to move your compass. Okay, more circles. Maybe I'll do one here. Okay, and now I'm gonna find the fishtails, okay, which are gonna help me. For example, I can see one in here, and so I'm gonna mark them. Remember, the lines go from side to side, from side to side. Then I see one here. Then I see one here. I'm gonna use this one, and again, you can use any, oh, but you know what, I can barely see it. I'll just forget about that one. I'll use this one. So if there are ones that you can't really see, you just ignore those. And go from side to side, okay? Make sure you go to all the way to the side of the page, from one side to the other side, so that it's easier for you to find your points of the parabola. Okay, so we're gonna label those, oh, and I changed the colors, but that's okay. This is point A, point B, point C, point D, and E. If you do less or more, that's okay. I noticed that in one video they used only 1 point. Okay, so you're gonna find from the directrix to point A the distance, and you go to the focus. Remember that this is related to the focus, and find that marking, and make sure that you immediately mark those points, because otherwise you're gonna lose them. And I just did. Okay, from the focus right there. Oh, there it is. Okay, do the same thing for B. From directrix to B, use the measurement and go to F and mark it on B. Right there and right there. And now I guess I'll just put the vertex orange as well to make it easier for me. Then go to point C, from directrix to C, but then go to F, and remember from purple to purple, and mark it on C. But guess what? I made it to the left again. Then point D, and then from the F, the focus of point. Okay, both of them go out. So that's it. That's all I can mark. And so I'm gonna try to do the smooth curve in there. And here it's gonna just go out. Okay, on the other side the same thing, and it's gonna go out there. Okay, so that's my parabola, and that's it. Now you can work on 10.2 and have fun.